Okay, corporate controller, we have a job description. We have a job description for some of you people that you might want to take a look at. You may not want to give it to the owner of the company, but we sit back and say, we believe we're accountants, you know. We're accountants just like you. We think that the message that we have for owners is extremely important. We think that finance is the language of business. We think that we really do have an important role in the company. And we think when we go out to see clients like you, that we see controllers that maybe don't speak up, controllers that don't really go up to the owner and say, hey, we could do this better, or I see a problem here, or your son shouldn't be here. You know, maybe your daughter should be. Not talking about you, Steve. We didn't mean it. You should be there. But I mean, we think that you guys should be critical to that company. And so when we do this job description, we say that you're responsible for internal controls. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. You're responsible for projections. You should be doing them right now. If you don't have a projection done for next year, you don't know where you're going. You don't have a goal. You don't have an idea of what you should be doing. You don't have an idea if you should raise prices. Okay? Budgets, every month. Hey, why are we spending this much money? You should be leading that charge. Your CPAs don't tell you to do it, so what? You do it anyhow. It's the right thing to do for a good controller. Cash management. How are we managing our cash? Are we taking discounts? Are we using credit cards? Are we extending payments? Are we paying aggressively? Are we vetting vendors? Analysis of capital expenditures. You know, you got these contractors that buy everything known to man. They buy every car, they buy every boat, they buy everything, shove it through the company. Should we be buying? Should we be leasing? Are we getting competitive bids? Are we budgeting for those items? How many of you have old controllers, old software, old controllers, old computers, old software that needs to be replaced? You spend too much time on this stuff, fixing it. You know, do you have a capital budget? Oops. Overall responsibility, preparation of financial information for management external parties. You know, monthly. How often do you prepare your financial statements? Do you prepare it within the 10th of the month, the following month? How many of you get a financial statement done by the 10th of the following month? How many get it done past that? You know, and what good is it if it goes really into the end of the month? And I know we're all busy, but we should have them done. If these people can do them, I'd be curious to find out, talking to them, how do you do that? What do they do differently than you? Review and analysis. We've got, you know, do you sit down with the owner? Do you sit down by yourself and say, what's going on? What's right? What's wrong? What should we be doing? Maintain relationships with our vendors. Bankers. Bankers are critical to our builders' success. How many of you use the big banks? Bank of America, you know, some of the big regional banks. I think a lot of builders are using the local banks, the community banks. Most of you doing that right now? We're seeing a lot of the community banks picking up the slack because the regional banks, let's call it what it is, they don't want you guys. Exactly. They think you have too much risk. And we believe that's going to continue going forward. They think you have too much risk. Okay? And what do you give the bank? How often do you meet the bank? Do you read your bank loan documents? We're going to go over that tomorrow. Have you really read the bank loan documents? Do you understand the restrictive and negative covenants that they've placed on you? Do they have restrictive and negative covenants in their loan documents? Yes, but you don't read them. Yet you're going to be responsible to compute them and tell the banker you missed them or didn't miss them. They're going to have cash flow coverage ratios, debt to equity ratios. These are things you need to know now so you don't have a problem at 12/31 of 16. You should be thinking now about 16, the end of the 16. Human resource management, so many things in human resources right now. Again, you've got the overtime rules, you've got you've got just tons of things. You know, are you on top of that? The liability, the responsibility for those things is going to be incredible. Manage and train accounting personnel if you do have staff around you. Maintain general ledger, prepare monthly reporting package and variance reports. We've talked about variance reports. We've talked about reconciling all accounts. reconcile all accounts monthly. Must be done. Maintain, reconcile job cost schedules, must be done. Special projects as requested, reconciling general ledger accounts. We got that bank loan schedules, related party activity. Related party activity is just so important. Banks hate it, right? Hate it. When you take money out of your building company and put it into another company and you don't record that as a distribution or a loan or properly document it, banks hate it. They take it out of their calculations of net worth, net equity.
You also want to make sure that you're allowed to do it by some of your loan documents.
Right. It could be a violation. It could be a violation that could give the bank the opportunity to call the note. They could call the note at any time. Boom, done. And they're doing this now. They're writing these documents to protect them from you. What happened in 2009, they do not want to happen again. They're ready for you now. They're planning for this now. Okay, we have an accounting checklist. What we did, and this is in there, what we did is we go to builders or we go to clients and we say, do you do this? And we always hear yes, no, yeah. We did a checklist. We did a checklist and we just said, here, do this. Completed by due date. Hate to have another rule placed on you. You've got enough already. But, you know, we say to clients, make this checklist part of your monthly closing. When your controller gives this to you, your closing is complete, and you know who's responsible. The more important you make yourself, the better opportunity you have, the better role you'll play with the owner, the more respect the owner will give you. And we're trying to make all of our controllers that are clients be extremely strong and be extremely respected. You guys are very important.
To make it pretty specific, but you can change it to where you want to be. You know, it's in there where you can make changes to.
Right. It's all up to what your owners want and what you think is relevant. Okay, bookkeeper again, job responsibilities. How many of you are bookkeeper types? You call yourself a bookkeeper? I hate that word half the time. You consider yourself a bookkeeper?
I'm an accountant, so absolutely, I'm more of a bookkeeper.
Really? And yet you gave answers to questions all day long that were very relevant. So anyhow, again, the same kind of stuff. Record all your billings and collections, accounts receivable collections, record purchasing, payment transactions, accounts payable, same stuff. Payroll processing, including tax reporting. You had a payroll person this morning. Monthly bank account reconciliations, internal financial statements, all good stuff. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to say to you, make yourself relevant. Make yourself heard, because you're just so important to a controller, to the company. We see the strongest builders having the strongest staff like you. We see the most successful builders having the best accounting and financial staff. We don't say it's their CPA. We don't say it's their lawyer. We say it's their internal staff that's reporting information to them, and it's the style with which they take that data and present it to a builder. As you know, builder is a Latin word for man who listens to no one, right? Your job is to make them listen to you, because you can make a difference.